Good morning, students. Next question for 78. Quarter cylinder is given. The cylindrical glass, transparent glass is cut into 4 quadrants. One part is taken. Consider it as a light rays, only paraxial rays, thin lens, thin part of the glass only we are taking. N is the refractive index given as 1.5 and R is the radius of the curved surface. And P is a point object kept in front of this curved surface. It is cut into parts and kept on the table, and object is kept in front of it. Light rays coming from this after refraction to the through surfaces coming out parallel to the principal axis. This is the principal axis we can take, parallel to the principal axis. And object distance, that means point of the distance from this first surface is given as mr. So if you take it as object distance, it becomes equal to minus mr, left side distances. And final light rays are coming parallel means that image distance becomes equal to infinity. You have to find out the constant number m equal to how much. This is m is how much. The relation we have for the curved surfaces, n2 by v minus n1 by u equal to n2 minus n1 by r. Keep the proper sign conventions and values. n2 is the second surface. First, reference index of the second medium. This is the first medium, second medium. First surface, if you are taking the first surface and second surface separately, you take. If you take the first face or first surface, it is a plane surface. Plane surface radius of curvature is infinity. So this one is n1, this becomes equal to n2. And for the second surface, if you take this becomes n1, this becomes equal to n2. What is the reference index of this part is nothing but equal to 1.5 is n. So n1 is equals to n2 is equals to inside part, that symbols may be changing. You have to be careful with that. First surface n1 is 1, n2 is n. This is n only. n2 is n is equals to 1.5. First surface n1, this is going to be n2 is 1.5. u1 is minus mr, left side distance minus mr. r1, radius of curvature of the plane surface is infinity. Parallel surface or plane surface we can take. We'll take it as a plane surface. Next substitution of these values, n2 is 1.5 by v1 minus 1, n1 is 1 air by u1 is minus mr is equals to n2 1.5 minus n1 is air 1 by r1 plane surface infinity. 1 by infinity is 0. This part is becomes equal to 0. Therefore, this becomes equal to 1.5 by v1, 1.5 by v1 minus into minus becomes equal to plus mr equal to 0. Take this to the right side, it again becomes equal to minus 1.5 by v1 is equals to minus 1 by mr. Get the expression for v1. v1 is image distance equal to 1.5 times mr. Negative indicates the left side direction only. That means image is not from right side, it is from left side only. This is nothing but equal to v1. From here to here is nothing but equal to v1. This is the image formed by the first surface. This acts as an object for the second surface. It is not really formed, it is a virtual image that acts as an object for the second surface. For the second surface is a curved surface, but the radius is left side, means minus r you have to take, left side radius of curvature. Object distance for the first surface is mr minus mr of course. For second surface, object distance becomes equal to u2. What is u2? u2 is nothing but equal to from the second surface to the object where it is formed. Object is here up to this. This is nothing but equal to u2. u2 is nothing but equal to this v1 from first surface plus r, that you have to be careful with the second surface. So n2 by v, same formula as before, n2 by v minus n1 by u equal to n2 minus n1 by r. But the second surface v2, u2, r2 we take. r2 is minus r and v2 is nothing but equal to infinity, parallel rays, and n2, this is n2 and this is going to be n1. n1 is 1.5, n2 is 1. Okay, and u2, object distance for the second surface is nothing but equal to that object image distance for the first surface plus r, that is equals to minus 1.5 mr minus r. Minus means left side distances. The result is minus of 1.5 mr plus r we have to take, and r2 equal to minus r. Putting these values into this equation, n2 is 1 by infinity equal to minus 1.5 by u2 minus of 1.5 mr plus r is equals to, right side is n2 is 1 minus n1 is 1.5 by r2 is equals to, second surface is minus r. 1 minus 1.5 is minus 0.5. So minus into minus becomes equal to plus. Here 1 by infinity is 0. 1 minus into minus is plus. The result of these calculations, you will get m is equals to 4/3. Check up the steps by yourself. Next question is 79. A uniform horizontal beam of light is incident on a prism as shown in figure. It's not actually a prism shape, but shape is different, as like not triangular shape. The prism is in the shape of a quarter cylinder of radius r. Again, we have taken the quarter cylinder. 1/4 of the cylindrical portion you are taking. R is radius, which is equals to 5 centimeters, and refractive index n equal to 2/√3 refractive index. Patch on the table for distance x from the cylinder is illuminated. The value of x is how much? Incident light is parallel. After refraction, light is falling up to distance x only. After refraction, light falls up to distance x only. Diagram is given for this. Find value of x. X equal to how much? Light rays are parallel, many rays are falling here, and light falling after refraction. One more thing is, first surface it is falling normally. It is parallel, means normal to surface. Normal to surface do not get deviated, go straight. Here it is getting refracted, and this is going to be the normal. It is also radius. From the normal, what happens? It deviates, going from denser to rarer medium. It deviates away from the normal, means it goes like this. And what is given for us is, this is a normal. With respect to normal, the angle of incidence is nothing but critical angle. C is the critical angle. Critical angle means that light ray will not go outside, it will going only up to this distance. The distance is x. Critical angle for total internal reflection. So light rays all are present only up to the here, this r. We are asked to find out what is the value of x. This is a C. So horizontal, same line, this is also equal to theta equal to C you will get. This one I will take it as a y, or you can take a h or anything. You are asked to find out what is the value of x. So this part is right triangle to triangle. You can see this is going to be 90 degrees. We have the refractive index value is given for us, so we can take the condition for the critical angle. in terms of the refracted index, sin c is equals to 1 by n, 1 by n, n is equals to 2 by root 3. So this becomes equal to root 3 by 2. Once it is root 3 by 2 means we can find out c, sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Therefore, c is equals to 60 degrees. We don't want that. We actually want this x, but r we know. X we have to find out. It is a right angle triangle. So you can take a cos 60, cos theta is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. From triangle, right angle triangle, cos 60 equal to half. Cos 60 is equals to half is equals to adjacent sides by hypotenuse, that is r plus x is also equal to half. The result is 2r is equals to r plus x. So 2r minus r is r equal to x, but already r we know it 5 centimeters, equal to 5 centimeters is the answer. Next question number 80. 79 I will discuss after this. Already we discussed this 80th question, multiple medium. I already discussed, I think, so no need to work out. We check up that already discussed problem. Multiple medium, if you have taken last one medium or anywhere, it is taking the light is taking the total reflection here, not going to this medium means the first medium, second medium. The angle of incidence, the first medium, sin theta is equals to last medium refracted index, whatever is that refracted index, no, T4 is 1, so N4 by N1, first last and first degree ratio only we have to take. Next question number 81, this is 80. Question number not printed properly, please check up that. Bulb is placed between two plane mirrors inclined at angle 60 degrees. Plane mirrors separated by angle theta equal to 60 degrees. How many images are formed? Number of images formed equal to how much? If the two mirrors are taken and object is kept between the two mirrors, the light ray coming from this object reflect from the first surface, second surface, like this, come back again, it may be reflected backwards to this mirror, and multiple images are formed between the mirrors, inside the mirrors. If you take the two plane mirrors, the infinite number of two plane mirrors kept parallel to each other, no, infinite number of images are formed. What is the formula for number of images formed is, I will write here, general formulas I have to discuss. Number of images, n is equals to total angle between possibility is division is 360 degrees by angle between the mirrors is theta. We will take here general formula. This is a theta. In this case, you have to leave this n equal to 360 by theta if it is even number. If you got, if this term is equals to even, then you take it as a minus 1, make it as a odd. If it is even, then make it as minus 1, you take it. N is equals to 360 by theta minus 1. Next case is if it is odd, n equal to 360 by theta. If n is equal to 360 by theta is odd. Odd means, for example, here got is a 4, 2, like this. If you got that as a even 4, 2, etc., minus 1, you make it as a odd number. But if it is already odd, like a 5, 3, like that, if you have got a, then in this case again two conditions are there. If it is odd, two conditions. You have to check up if the object is in the symmetrical or not. The center one, if it is object is in the middle, means symmetrical, and if the object is not in the middle, means non-symmetrical. Symmetrical, it is not symmetrical. Unsymmetrical. If it is odd, then again you have to check up. Symmetrical means -1, not symmetrical means leave it as it is. So this is only odd, leave it is only n equal to odd only, leave it as odd. Non-symmetrical. If they give symmetrical condition given means, if symmetrical condition they will give in the question, then n is equals to 360 by theta. Already odd is there, no? Symmetrical, if it is mentioned, -1 is the result. Is the number of images you have to take. In this question, what they give is theta equal to 60 degrees. In this question, they give us theta is equals to 60 degrees. N is equals to 360 by theta equal to 360 by 66. N equal to 6 is even. If they get even, you have to make -1. Therefore, number of images equal to, you have to make it as 360 by theta -1. N equal to, means n equal to 5. No need to write this part again. If you get even, just subtract -1. So number of images equals to 5. Next 2 points left out. In case if you get the fractional numbers, round it to lower number, not higher numbers. For example, you get the values as 4.3, you make it as a 4. 4.9 also make it as a 4 only. Don't take approximate to higher number, approximate to lower number. Next, some more points I need to discuss related to these mirrors. And mirrors only points. To see the complete image of the person standing in front of the mirror, what is the size of height of the mirror required? The mirror should be kept in front of him independent of the distance, do not depend on the distance. To the eye level if you have taken, then it is possible to see complete person's body. Letters coming from ear high, from top tip go to the head, that means letters from the head also can be seen, and from the foot also can be seen. This is the height of the mirror, this is the height of the person, man. This is equals to h by 3. 1/3 of the height of the person if you have taken, independent of the distance. Distance can be anything you can take. This d can be any values. The height only required you have to take. Next point is thick mirrors. If you are taking the general in the houses, what you have is a very thin glass is taken and silvering is done. Glass should be very thin and silvering is done backside, and then painting is done, protective painting is done on that. In case if you have taken that thick mirrors, what happens? You will see more than one image. If you see the inclination, you can see double, triple images. Possibility is there. How many images? Many images are possible. No limited for that. You can go for the infinity also. What happens is light coming on the first surface. It is a transparent surface. Therefore, refracts, falls on the silvered surface. Again, from here reflecting takes place. But here transparent, some energy is reflected back, and some energy is transmitted, goes away from it. Here again, reflection completely takes place. From the completely means not 100%. Actually, there is no perfect mirrors. We are taking the 90%, 99%. Let us take. Again, reflection takes place. Some energy goes backwards. These are all one image, second image, third image, like that comes. Here, first surface also some light is reflected backwards. This is a reflected light. This is a refracted light. Reflection is less than that of the refraction taking place in this here. So this image is also, we see this is image 1. Afterwards, reflection from the surface, you will see this as image 2. Okay. Generally, they will mention as 10% reflected, remaining 90% is transmitted. From this again 90% coming back, again 10% reflected out of 90%. But which is the brightest image? Multiple images you are seeing, many infinite number. Depending on this length, we can go for it. So which one is the brightest is? Second image is the brightest. because remaining all the part of the reflection only will coming back again, they become dull. So second image, first image is also dull because it's from the first surface. Maximum reflection takes place from the silver surface only. So second image is brightest. Next conditions is, if you take the two mirrors inclined by angle theta, let's say mirrors taken as M1 and M2, light ray coming parallel to one mirror, after reflection from the two mirrors comes out parallel to second mirror, parallel to one mirror comes out parallel to second mirror, then angle by the two mirrors is compulsorily 6 degrees. If the two mirrors are perpendicular to each other, light ray falling on the first mirror after reflection from the second mirror will be compulsorily deviated backwards, means coming and backwards. So deviation is 180 degrees. Deviation is 180 degrees it becomes. First page you will find these points, just go through those points. Synopsis, in the synopsis you will find many points are repeated from this what I discussed, just to go through them. One more important question generally asked is, there is a lamp in the room, middle of the room, and there is a mirror on the wall, a distance equal to L. Okay, middle means other corner or the other distance, it need not be in the room, outside also we can take it. Mirror is there like this, there is a bulb is here, mirror is here, and person is walking here. So person sees the reflected image from the of the light bulb. This is a source light bulb. While walking here, he is walking here, walking like this. This width of the mirror they will give you as a D. How much distance he can see the light of this bulb, that after reflection you can see, that is supposed to be equal to 3D. This is L and this is also L. Light rays coming from here, reflected this side, reflected this side, goes like this. D, 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 you will get total is 3D. Next some points. Right angle prisms. In the right angle prisms, if the light ray falls, what is the deviation they will ask you? Normal to the first surface, comes out normal to the second surface, the deviation is 90 degrees. It is supposed to go straight but deviated. Here it is the deviation. Deviation is 9 degrees. This is a right angle triangle, 90 degrees. This is a 45. This is also 45. Right angle isosceles prism. Next, same prism in case if the light falls from the base. This is right angle prism, it is 90 degrees is angle of the prism. This is 45, here 45. If the light ray falls here, goes and comes back. What is a deviation? Deviation is 180 degrees. Here will be 40, this angle 45, this is also 45, this is also 45. TIR takes place, total reflection takes place 45, 45. Total deviation is 180 degrees. Next is erecting prisms are used in the binoculars and also in telescopes. And this prism arrangement is also used in the binoculars. If the inverted image you want to make erected, then this same right angle prism can be used. This is 90 degrees. (45, 45). Light rays falling here with the parallel or inclination we can take. Here always is the total interreflection, refracts, and here also falls and going backwards, and then they come out like this. If the tree is like this, image forming, this is a top end coming here, top end becomes a down, means inverted image comes. If already inverted is there, image is already inverted, then you can make it as a erected image. So inverted image making as erected can be done with the help of these prisms. One more diagram also given, just go through that. Major points are over. I will discuss only the type of spectra. Spectra of light. If you take the white light through the prism, passing through the prism, you will get the light splitting into different deviations, different angles, and you will see the spectra. Spectra is nothing but the arrangement of the data. It can be wavelength, frequency, or any data in the particular increasing or decreasing order is called as a spectra. Here we are discussing about the decreasing or increasing order of the wavelengths. Then in the spectra, visible light spectra, what you have is violet to red, VIBGR. VIBGR starts from 4000 angstrom units to 7500 or approximately 8000 can be taken angstroms for the red. Average we take it as yellowish green for the total wavelengths you have taken. So in the case of the spectras, if the adjacent colors are overlapped, in the ordinary white light passing through the prism, you will find the colors are not separated, separate gap will not be observed between the colors to colors. That is called as impure spectra. We have impure spectra. But if you pass through the special conditions like a spectrometer, that is called as a spectroscope or spectrograph. It has a prism kept in the minimum deviation position and has a collimator. It is called as a collimator, produces a parallel rays. Parallel rays. It has a thin slit is there, a light bulb is there. From this light rays come and this through this slit. Now slit acts like a source. From here light rays become parallel. Here one lens is kept. The light rays, the distance from here to here should be f. Sorry, 1 minute. Light rays coming from the slit will be diverging. They become parallel after coming out of the slit. The light rays are parallel falling out of the prism, and here we have the telescope, not microscope. Because we are taking the readings means it is supposed to be a Ramses eyepiece is fixed here. This is a telescope. Why telescope? Even though distance is very less means light rays are parallel. Because light rays are parallel, we have to take the telescope. And then they deviate. Whatever the spectra you are seeing here is observed through this telescope. Because the light rays are parallel. Here you will get the spectra. That spectra is seen here. If you take the readings with the help of telescope, called as spectrometer. If you take the photograph, called as a spectrograph. If you are just observing means spectroscope. It's seeing means scope. Taking the readings means spectrometer. Same device, please. So pure spectra. Pure spectra is obtained with the help of spectroscope or spectrometer. In this pure spectra, color separation easily can see. The slit, this is a thin slit, will be seen like this, one small narrow gap. So we will find here actually in the spectra multiple lines. Each line is corresponding to the slit. Slit width increase means line width also increases. Each slit is corresponding to particular wavelength. So in the case of the spectrums, we have again in the pure spectra, we are going to divide as continuous and discontinuous. Continuous spectra and discontinuous spectra. Continuous spectra, all wavelengths are present, all lambda present. Continuous spectra, all wavelengths are present. Where do you get the continuous spectra? Is incandescent solids like filament of the light bulb. High melting point solids are called as incandescent solids. Incandescent solids produce the continuous spectra. Liquids and gas also can produce at high pressure and temperatures. Liquids, gases at high pressures, temperatures can also produce the continuous spectra. But mostly what we simply differ is incandescent solids we talk. High melting point solids are called as incandescent solids. When heated to high temperatures, they become red hot and produce the wavelengths. And depending on the temperatures, different colors are produced. What is the relation is the Wien's displacement law. Lambda maximum intensity, what you see, is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. More temperature, less wavelength. Less wavelength means more frequency, more energy also. Maximum wavelength means different wavelengths may be produced, which is having more intensity, is related to called as maximum Okay, I'm stopping here. We will discuss this part in the next class. I will repeat this again.